so with this, we conclude this learning of this text, Tattvabodha. And it is really the kataksham of our acharyas, starting from Swami Dayanandaji, of course, Dakshinamurti, and all our acharyas here and in other parts of the world who have taught us, who have guided us, which really enabled me to be able to gain the courage to stand and talk about the subject. I really have to attribute it to our acharyas and our Swamiji. And thanks to all of you for being patient all these months. And the months have been going on, and some of you perhaps had a doubt. I thought this was a small text. How come it is taking this long, etc. But I hope it was finally beneficial to you, and you got an idea of what the text is and what the Shastram is and what kind of journey we are in. And so once again, with my namaskaras to all our acharyas, I conclude this text, Tattvabodha.
Thank you for
Jayakumarji,
taking us through the entire text.
Yeah, some of you have already studied it before, and this may be a review for you, and for some people it is new. So I think even for me, I had studied it long ago, almost 15 years ago, and so it was a good review for me, and it all came back to me. I was listening to Swamiji's cassettes those days, those years. I used to just play and keep listening to it, and so it was very refreshing for me also. And any other questions, thoughts?
Last week recording is published. Last week I missed it due to some personal work. Last week, that is
yeah.
just last Monday.
Yeah, so I can check. I remember publishing it. I can make a note and see if that is there or not. So we will, what I'm planning to do next is to, I had this discussion with Swamiji's, 2-3 Swamiji's actually, and the conclusion was that Bhagavad Gita is a text that would be appropriate to take next. And so those of you who are interested can join, and I will send an announcement out. It won't be next week, and so once we prepare ourselves and get started, you're welcome to join. And many of you have sent me emails asking about donations and this and that. I've asked them to hold on, and we are just about finished creating a paperwork for the trust, and there is now shortly we'll have a bank account also. So that paperwork is almost complete. So after that, any of you who would like to donate to our causes, the type of things we work on, have a friend who also studied the Shastram under Swamiji many years ago, probably a decade ago. Name is Srinivasan, and Brahmachari. He lives in the southern part of Tamil Nadu, Thoothukudi district, Kovilpatti. And so he is also teaching classes like me online from his home. And he is also taking care of his parents. Very, very unique. It's not the reason he is part of this team, but happens to be like that. As I'm speaking, it occurs to me. And then we have Sunita Ramaya, who is in Mysore, who also you all know. And so the three of us decided, we are friends from a long time, so we decided we'll form a trust to continue these teachings of Vedanta, Sanskritam, and also teaching children and teaching college students. These days, in the last 6 months, 1 year, I got invited to several programs here where I was asked to talk to talk in workshops addressing college students and high school students and teachers. And so it's very interesting because there is a lot of hunger for these kinds of topics, and children need to be told about their culture, about their country, so they can be happy about themselves and they can contribute to the country. So all these are activities we are involved in, and already in Mysore, many children have been are given free education, high school education and beyond. And some of you I know have sponsored college education. Many of them in their families, it is the first time anybody has actually gone to college. This is what we have heard. And so very refreshing, and they are turning out to be very fine students. And so we want to continue these kinds of activities. We may do it ourselves, or we may support other organizations who do similar work. And a lot of money is also spent in supporting families during times of disasters, like the last cyclone we had here, Gaja cyclone. And north also there was these, the Maharashtra and other places got flooded. You all know about that. So we, whatever money we have, we send RSS. Typically, I send it to RSS if they are active there. Otherwise, look at some other organizations. So like this, we keep our eyes on the Shastram. At the same time, we want to help our own people in India. So these are the kinds of activities we do. I'll be happy to send more information later. So this is the trust called Arsha Seva Kendram. Arsha means coming from a rishi. It's called Arsha. Coming from a rishi. Whatever comes from a rishi is called Arsha. Everything we have received today is coming from our ancestors and from our rishis. And we are just reorganizing it and calling it progress, etc., which we need to do. But the message from the rishis we need to first grasp. And so Arsha. Then Seva. Seva, because teaching is also very important, Seva. And besides that, helping people with their immediate needs and also with their emotional needs. All that is Seva. Even telling a nice word to somebody who is depressed is a lot of Seva. You all know that. So Arsha Seva includes teaching and includes all kinds of other Seva activities. Kendram, so this is a center which is built for that purpose. And it can't be done by a few people, that's not possible. And we want this organization to grow. And so any of you who are interested, welcome to join formally also and grow the organization. And in the future, things like water are going to be very important, already important. Water conservation, water crisis is a topic of discussion all over the world and especially in India. So love to engage in some way, especially those who are experts in these areas. We want to support them. So with that said, Shastram being the main, Vedanta Shastram, which is what opened our eyes to do all these things. So we have formed the trust for this purpose. So any of you are welcome to participate in these activities. So with that, I'd like to conclude. And if there are any other questions, ideas, any feedback you have, please feel free to tell me.
Jay Kumarji, can you please also talk a few words about the how to contribute in the US? Like some people are in the US, and you can just say a few words about that also. It would be wonderful.
Yeah. So now we have actually it so happens that we had founded an organization called Arsha Vidya Satsanga in Houston. It's a US organization, non-profit. And so it never occurred to me to mention that organization. It's very much an active organization. It's not as active in terms of Houston-based activities like before. There's not much going on. but I'm still a board member of that organization. We have board members, 3 board members. And so we are all, Raj Vedam is giving talks in the US and in India. And I'm conducting classes here, etc. So that way the organization is active. And that organization is a non-profit 501c3 organization. So those in the US who want to donate and want to take advantage of your tax benefits, etc., can do that. And we have inquired that Arsha Vidya Satsanga, because the vision is similar to Arsha Seva Kendram in Coimbatore, India, can transfer the money to India also. Now, the transfer of money will not be direct because Arsha Seva Kendram today cannot accept dollar donations. So we have other organizations. There are many sannyasis who have offered to help the organization out. So we can get the rupee donations from those organizations. So we will support other organizations through which we will support ourselves also. So that means is now there, Sajeev. And 6 months ago or something when we talked about, it didn't strike me. And so now that is also available. So any other information you need, I'll be happy to send it over to you. And so once again, thanks a lot. It was very enjoyable for me. I feel very blessed to be part of this journey. And I wish you all the best also. And the journey doesn't end here, but I hope the course has inspired you to study more, and the course has given you more food for thought. And so all the best to all of you.
Thank you, Jayakumar.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you very much.
Namaskar. Namaskar. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay.